It's once again time to expand your mind. Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. During a 19th century smallpox outbreak, the Micmac healers used tea from the purple pitcher plant to treat patients, and British doctors later confirmed it actually worked. The alt-rock band They Might Be Giants has 5 children's albums, one of which earned them a Grammy. Scientists are finding that problems with mitochondria contributes to autism. During a 1966 interview as a Vietnam War POW, US Navy officer Jeremiah Denton blinked the word torture in Morse code with his eyes, secretly confirming North Vietnamese abuse to American intelligence. The Kulang Su International Settlement was an international settlement that served as a counterpart to the Shanghai International Settlement and lasted until 1943. The sun pulses about every 5 minutes. Laurence Olivier hit Maggie Smith in the face so hard she was knocked unconscious during the 1964 production of Othello. Beach towels are designed to have one side for drying off and the one softer, less absorbent side for sitting on. They're also lighter weight, so they dry faster than bath towels for multiple uses in a day. There's another Y2K that's going to happen in 2038. It's called Y2K38 when systems using 32-bit integers in time-sensitive measured processes will suffer fatal errors unless they're updated to 64-bit. Hurricane Helene is the 5th most costliest hurricane to ever hit the US, even more expensive than Superstorm Sandy. Nikola Tesla possessed an eidetic memory, but also suffered from OCD. The scientist was compelled to do things in threes. He was obsessed with pigeons and averted women with earrings. He died at the age of 86 alone in a hotel room. Despite being a carnivorous plant, the purple pitcher plant is actually pretty bad at catching its prey, with less than 1% of insects that visit it ending up trapped inside. The Gulf War inadvertently saved 200,000 people in Bangladesh. This happened after US Navy and Marine assets that were present around Iraq were quickly sent to Bangladesh to conduct relief operations following a cyclone. The young adult author Robert Cormier put his own home phone number in one of his novels, and thousands of readers called him at home before his death in 2000. A slipped disc is actually a misnomer for a herniated disc, often from lining tearing, which is why it can't be slipped back into place. Switzerland is officially called the Swiss Confederation, and the name Switzerland has no mention in its constitution. In 2016, a woman was found passed away in an elevator after being trapped there for a month. Servicemen who were called to fix a broken cable had banged on the door but heard no response, so they cut off the power and told the residents to use a different lift. They returned a month later and they found her. The 1972 song Garden Party, which has the lyrics "You can't please everyone, so you've got to please yourself," is about the singer being booed at Madison Square Garden when he played Honky Tonk Woman as a country song. There was actually a jelly bean shortage in 2023. Apparently pectin and starch were in short supply a couple years ago. Metals can form whiskers that slowly grow over time, especially in electronical devices. The exact process that makes them is unknown and can cause problems like short circuits and arcing. These whiskers can become airborne and cause serious problems in large server rooms. There was a woman named Mayoki. She was the wife of Suabe Sadakatsu, a samurai. One day she earned wide-reaching recognition for her skills as a battlefield commander due to her husband being passed out drunk, leading defense of their castle with success. There was a lost parody of the Iliad called the Diliad. Ruth Handler, inventor of the Barbie doll, struggled to find a good breast prosthesis after her breast surgery, so she manufactured a more realistic version called Nearly Me. Neanderthals suffered a high rate of traumatic injury, with about 79 to 94% of Neanderthal specimens showing evidence of healed major trauma from frequent animal attacks. GPS was opened up to the public use in 1983 by Ronald Reagan following a Korean Airlines flight being shot down after wandering into Soviet airspace. Joseph D. Cousin, known for portraying Kane in the Command & Conquer series, has been cited as the longest recurring actor in any video game franchise, despite being initially hired only for directing the voice talent. The fedora was originally a woman's hat. It gained widespread popularity in the 1880s when it was worn in the play Fedora. The hat became associated with women's fashion until it eventually transitioned to men's fashion in the early 1900s. In Romania, there's a cemetery called the Mary Cemetery, where the graves have colorful crosses and funny carvings. It celebrates life instead of focusing on death. Archie Comics' Jughead Jones' iconic crown is actually a style of hat known as a whoopee cap. Made of a fedora with a brim cut out and folded upwards, it was a style of hat popular in the mid-20th century. Youths often decorated their caps with buttons or bottle caps, as seen in Jughead's cap. France did not adopt the Greenwich Meridian as the beginning of the Universal Day until 1911. Even then, it still refused to use the name Greenwich instead of the term Paris Mean Time, which was behind by 9 minutes and 21 seconds. Cafe Mocha gets its name from a port town of Mocha in Yemen, which was a port city famous for coffee trade in the 15th century. The longest papal conclave in history lasted 3 years from 1268 to 1271. The magistrates resorted to removing the roof of the election building in an attempt to coerce the cardinals into reaching a decision. James Strang, leader of a Mormon splinter group, crowning himself king of this church on Beaver Island, Michigan, for 6 years. His reign was so hated by the locals that he was in 1856. The people that did it were kept in an unlocked jail cell and fined $1.25. In 1868, Zadok Dederick designed and built a steam-powered, human-like robot called Daniel to pull a cart. Only 3 weeks after their wedding, Oscar-winning actor Gig Young his wife before offing himself in 1978. In 1917, Italy had a prime minister called Vittorio Emanuele. At the same time, they had a king called Victor Emmanuel. Clara Gant was the widow of Army Sergeant First Class Joseph Gant, who waited 63 years for the return of her husband's remains after he was captured during the Korean War. He passed away in captivity in 1951, but his remains weren't identified until 2013. A programming bug caused Mazda infotainment systems to brick whenever someone tried to play the podcast 99% Invisible. This is because the software recognized symbols like the percent sign as an instruction and not a string. In 2010, thousands of women participated in Boobquake, a global online protest organized by a graduate student to mock an Iranian cleric's claim that women who dressed immodestly cause earthquakes. They cause earthquakes in my pants. What? There was only one person born in the 1900s decade alive today and born during King Edward VII's reign. Her name is Ethel Caterham, and she's 115 years, 294 days old. The Zulu lyrics at the start of Circle of Life in The Lion King translate to, "Here comes a lion, father, oh yes, it's a lion. A lion we're going to conquer, a lion and a leopard come to this open place." During the 1946 Alcatraz prison riot, U.S. Marines from nearby Treasure Island were called in to help end the uprising. While the Posse Comitatus Act limited Army use in civilian matters, Marines were not explicitly bound by it. This allowed them to make fast military options for federal emergencies. In 1890, August Kekule, who was a German scientist, announced that his discovery of a ring structure of benzene came to him in a dream. He talked about dancing in whirling atoms. The atoms arranged themselves as a snake. He dreamed of the snake eating its own tail. Seaweeds are not plants. The discovery of quinine as a treatment for malaria played a significant role in the colonization of Africa by Europeans, and the prime reason why Africa ceased to be known as the white man's grave. Led Zeppelin's attorney helped assemble a hard rock band called Blackjack. The band, fronted by singer Michael Bolton, opened for major rock acts. Poor sales and a lack of label support caused Blackjack to disband, and Bolton changed his name to Michael Bolton and started a solo career. In 1937, actor Lionel Barrymore tripped on set and broke his hip and kneecap. To keep him filming, MGM's Louis B. Mayer allegedly gave him $400 worth of booger sugar daily to help him with the pain. Barrymore is now best known as the villainous Mr. Potter in It's a Wonderful Life. Some populations of purple pitcher plants have been found to regularly trap and eat young western newts. It provides the plant with a huge amount of nutrients compared to tiny insects. While determining the atomic mass of each chemical elements, the English chemist William Prout decided that the building block of the atom is primarily the atom of hydrogen. But his hypothesis was not entirely accurate because atom's building block is the proton. Every year, an estimated 4.5 trillion cigarette butts are littered worldwide, making them the most littered item on the planet. But that's it. Let me know which one of these facts you guys personally found most interesting in the comments. Leave a like, and of course, be sure to follow me or subscribe because you won't want to miss what's next. Thanks again.